Hey, come see us on tour. We're hitting up Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Buffalo, New York, Reno, Nevada, San Diego, California, Scottsdale, Arizona, Chicago, Illinois, and Urbana, Illinois. Get your tickets right now at cheatcodesmusic.com. See you all there. I saw you had a song with Train, which is really sick, actually. It's like reggae vibes. I don't know if you remember that record.
Oh, yeah, I remember it.
And we worked with Train too this year.
Did you?
This year, yeah.
No way.
Yeah, great guys.
Oh man, super. I've only talked to Pat, but man, I'm been a fan forever, bro. You know, it's like Drops of Jupiter is one of the greatest songs of all time.
Literally, yeah.
Literally. So that's so cool. I want to hear the song. Is it out?
It's called Bloom. Released a couple months ago.
Yeah, but
that's legacy right there.
Exactly.
Yeah, they're
I think that's what's inspiring for me when you see a band and you're like, oh, you guys are in your, I don't know how old they are, but you're in your 50s and you guys are still killing it doing these big arenas or big venues and
still putting very, like, family oriented. They all hang out, joking. It didn't feel like they were like, separated and come to play. It was
they don't all
really cool.
Take their own tour buses.
Yeah. Well, they might because they got such big fucking whatever. But they're just super cool guys.
But it's like the party rock star vibe people don't seem to last. It's like the ones are like even like the Rolling Stones, I guess they bring a whole gym on a semi truck on their tours. Like really? Mick Jagger works out every day on the road.
See, those are the things you hear about and you're like, yeah, this wasn't an accident. You didn't just talent your way into everything. You're still doing that.
Yeah, we did
70.
So
that is freaking wild.
So Train, they performed at the Forum. So they had us come and pop up at their show. Sick. So we did some backstage stuff, content, and they're like, oh yeah, we all usually run the stairs before the set. You guys are welcome to come. We're like, oh, we're good.
Too tired for that, even though the fact that you have more energy than us.
All these guys like 20 years older than us, just like running the stairs.
Inexcusable. Yeah, we're just like, awesome.
It's like killing it. But it's cool to see that and be like, oh, this is what it takes to be that good for that long.
Longevity. Yeah. Yeah, I think.
Do you ever have like people you collab with that you're like, oh, this is big, or this changes my perspective on the music industry? I know you worked with YG, Wale,
Dude,
a bunch of people.
I am so bad about reaching out to people to collab. Like, I just hope that it gets to the right ears that love it. And so now I got a couple on the album, just like Lovely the band, because I'm really close with Mitchie.
Oh yeah.
And then this girl, Brittany Spencer, she's a country artist, black girl, and she's great. And she heard a song that I'd written and loved it, and I did one with Kylie Morgan of a song that I'd written a couple years ago.
That one sounds pretty country.
It's again Americana, and that's what I call it. I'm just like, dude, I
didn't expect that record from you.
I don't put a cowboy hat on when I go out or anything. I'm not cosplaying country like everybody in LA. I just, we wrote that song and it was beautiful, and she loved it. Like, if an artist loves the song, like when I played You Guys Stay and you loved it, I'm like, dude, that's all I really need to hear. Doesn't matter anything else, like, because but I'm terrible at reaching out to people, man. Like, I'll send a DM, if they don't read it, that's pretty much me like giving up. So that I just keep writing stuff, and I hope that it falls on the right ears, and it has, built an audience from it. But there's just so many things that if I was better at it, I feel like it would just be, like the world would open up a whole lot more. But
you got to ask for sure. I'm trying to be better at it too.
Dude, it's
because you never know. You never know when you're going to get a response.
It's just, I went so long without getting anything from anybody, and doing it so much on my own that now it's hard to even think, oh, you have a little leverage now. Like, people want to work with you. You could probably reach out to this person.
But even like the Hoodie Allen tour that you did, that's got to be, I mean, when I was coming up, he was like a legend. And now he's still killing it, but that's got to be cool doing that tour with him and just getting like little insights, like industry insights and stories.
That's my dog, man. No, I learned a lot from the way Hoodie toured, because I one of the first ways that I actually got exposed to audiences that were going to come buy tickets was I got an opening slot of 4 on his tour.
That's what I heard. I remember you or Gino telling me that.
Yeah,
it was what do you
Kyle, mean? Blackbear.
Oh wow,
Nash.
That's a good lineup.
Great rent lineup.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And Blackbear and him had some friction, whatever the fuck. And Blackbear left the tour, and I just hit him on Twitter. There you go.
So you got to ask. There you go.
But yeah, seeing how the way that honestly he did it for the most part, I was just like, You know, oh, this makes sense. It's kind of like the responsible version of doing a tour.
Yeah. And it's those moments of seeing somebody do it like, oh, I could do that too.
Mm-hmm.
You see somebody that kind of makes it look easy.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh,
the dude manages himself still. I don't
Oh,
know.
wow.
I don't know how. I could never.
That's wild.
But yes, and he came and supported me on this last tour, which was also cool. You know, it's like the not even, I wouldn't even say passing the torch, but it's literally just like support. You know, it's like, oh, cool. Now you have an
like
audience and you need
not
support,
having
so-
an ego about it.
Dude, not at all. He is so smart, man. He really is a smart guy. And, whenever I talk to him sometimes about career stuff, and he always has something to say that no one has ever said before.
What's
And-
like the biggest gem?
Oh man, I was afraid you were going to ask me
Yeah.
because I'm so bad at remembering on the spot. I actually have a list that I've been keeping for
Like I got to
well
write
over
it
a
down.
decade of just interesting or funny
Wow.
things that people I know have said. So he's on there somewhere. It's just I can't think of it under pressure.
No,
But
don't.
he
It's all
he
good.
doesn't let his ego ever get in the way of a good decision, you know. And I don't see that a lot. That's probably why we're so close, because I've tried to befriend other artists that are not like you guys, and I just find it really difficult. I feel like I'm back in elementary school,
Especially if
trying
you're-
to be like friendly
yeah.
with the cool kids and, you know, on the playground. And
If
they
you're
don't
in the
want anything
same
to do with it.
genre, there's like a competition.
There can be, but
Like,
that's
we
the
don't-
ego again.
we don't really
speaking.
play
You're
the
not
same
really
shows, you know?
competing with anybody but yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
You're just not. And my best friend reminds me of that all the time, you know, because I'll compare myself to other artists and their careers and their, you know, what they've been able to.
You're pretty
accomplish.
unique though. Your sound is pretty unique.
Yeah, and that's
I will
yeah,
say.
dude. And I love that. It doesn't stop me from having any of those ego-driven feelings, which I'm now am just now really getting a grasp on and letting everything roll off more. I'm even reading a book called Ego is the Enemy, and seeing a lot of the ways of thinking that have been not in my favor for years, you know. And so it takes a lot of pressure off when I walk into the room for a show and
Yeah.
for
Because
playing
there's
songs.
certain thoughts and habits that protect you and actually give you success that 5-10 years down the line don't serve you anymore.
Yeah.
You have to ask that, is this working anymore?
Yeah.
Wow.
Like if you're not to call out Blackbear or anything like that, but like imagine you're Blackbear and you're super confident, and then that worked for you, that helped you get signed, that helped you get big, and then you're on a tour with Hoodie Allen and you're like, fuck Hoodie, I'm the biggest, and then all of a sudden you're kicked off the tour and you're like, it helped you get to that point, but it doesn't necessarily mean it works in every scenario, and you have to be able to separate the two.
Dude, and a lot of people get trapped in that cycle, you know, or you got to graduate, and your fans want to see you mature over time. They don't want to see you do the same thing forever, because as soon as that happens, that's like when it's kind of finished. You've gotten to that point that you're going to get to. Your growth has stunted
Yeah.
somewhere. You know, they want to grow with you. So so I'm actively trying to remind myself now things I didn't even realize was the ego speaking. And the ego doesn't even always tell you positive things.
Right.
You know,
I think about all the time stuff with the group that I'm like, damn, I kind of wish we didn't do that.
Yeah, we let the ego get in the way. We act out. or
Yeah,
whatever.
for
Yeah,
sure.
Find me
Million
someone
times.
not
That
guilty
happens
of
to
it,
the best
bro.
of us.
Yeah.
Find me one person not guilty of doing it one time.
If you like that clip and want to see another one, click here. If you want to see the full podcast, click here.